What is going on, Niner fans? The 49ers get a win. They go to 500. They're 2-2. Big dub at home. We needed it. Niners needed this dub. They needed it more than anything. You don't want to lose it. They beat the Patriots 30-13. Really good performance by the defense. It wasn't perfect. There was going to be some moments that, make you go, oh my God, but that's a football game. Other teams trying to win too. They're trying to play their butts off. Their NFL caliber of talent. I mean, there's still people that are like upset about, oh, they should have blown them out. They beat them 30-13. I said it was going to be 27-13. I was pretty close. I said 27-13. Niners came in and they dominated this game overall. Brock Purdy, I wish he didn't throw that pick at the end, but it is what it is. Still had a dominating performance. The guy was putting the team on the back. Like, he threw 3 touchdowns in one drive, and they didn't count. Y'all, you remember that? God, that series where he was like, just driving and running and juking and jiving, and then boom, he was hitting people in the end zone, and then they kept calling it back because of penalty. It was irritating. But he finally did get the touchdown, man. And Brock Turtle, the touchdown he threw to George Kittle. Oh, my God. How did George Kittle come up with that? 3 defenders. Kittle goes up. I knew he was going to have a big game. He had 45 yards. He had the big tutty. He had some big blocks. George Kittle back was nice. Debo didn't have a huge game, but he made some big plays. And he opened it up. It's good to have those two back. Hey, Ayuk. Shout out to Brandon Ayuk. He made some really nice catches. He made a fingertip catch, a nice catch early in the game. I want to give him his credit today. He played pretty dang good when he had the opportunities. And shout out to Kyle Shanahan for putting Ronnie Bell on the bench. He got inactive today. I knew it was going to be a good day when I saw Ronnie Bell on the bench. Because you know what? Third and Juwan came up and made some beautiful plays. And Juwan says, you know what, just throw it to 15. I don't care about a route. I don't care about a this, that, the other. He says, look, I don't care. What did he say? Juwan Jennings, man, this guy does not lack confidence. This is what he said today. He says, look, I don't care about running routes, catching balls, all that. All I care about is winning. He says, I tell Brock all the time, whenever you need 15, 15 is here. Juwan Jennings is that guy. I love this team. The vibes are immaculate. It's always good to win. Fred Warner, pick 6. Nick Bosa's like, yo, he was running out of gas. But he picked 6. He hurt the ankle. He was held out of the second half. He wanted to go back in, but Kyle's like, yo, it's week 4. You can't be risking that ankle. But he did come to the presser and said, we're going to get an MRI, but I felt good. I probably could have played, but that's adrenaline talking. So hopefully nothing is too serious with Fred. The next day after these games, you get weird, reports. So we'll see. Fred balled out, man. Let's put some Nick Bosa, man, sacked. 9 pressures. He had 9 pressures today. He had a forced fumble. He had a fumble recovery, diving all over the place. Nick Bosa put it on him. He says, look, I told these guys that everybody's acting like our team is on fire, but or like the building's burning down. And Nick Bosa said, look, man, we're still good. We still got a squad full of dogs. And he did that. A lot of people are criticizing Bosa. And all week I said, all he has to do is just get out of his mental head and just go out there and play Nick Bosa football. And he did today. And I'm happy for him. He dominated, man. So shout out to all those Nick Bosa doubters. I was saying all week, Bosa's going to come up, have a game. And you know why? It's because we wore the Bosa shirt to the game. We wore the Bosa shirt to the game, and he had to play, pretty good. So I give myself credit for motivating Nick Bosa. I'm going to do that. Nick Bosa played good. Fred Warner, of course, he played good. Secondary was much better today. But, the Patriots, they were expected to lose by 10 points, and the Niners beat them by 13. They beat them by 17 points, 30-13. So they beat them by 17. That's how they should have won. They should have held this game. There was a few moments at the end. Special teams still needs to fix things up. Isaac Guerrero, he fumbled up the punt or the kickoff, and that was not good. And you know what? Kyle Juszczyk was out there returning kicks, man. So shout out to Kyle Juszczyk, Mr. Do-It-All. He's the Swiss Army knife for real. And he came in and did his thing. But the special team still needs some work. That's going to be something they have to continue to fix because that special teams was, holy smoke. It started to, feel a little weird. I was like, uh-oh, people were starting to worry. Uh-oh, here come the Patriots. But the Niners defense really put it on them. Kevin Givens, I think Malik Collins had a sack and a half. Kevin Givens had 2 sacks today. He was balling. Everybody wanted to know who's going to step up for Javon Hargrave. Kevin Givens was that guy. And Malik Collins, Jordan Elliott, he hurt himself. He was out of the game. He didn't really get to play in the second half. We'll see what Kyle says tomorrow during the presser. So these injuries early on been keeping up, but hey, the Niners kept on ticking. Defensive line really improved today. And I got to give my boy, I can't believe I haven't mentioned him yet, Jordan Mason. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, I know there's a game going on right now, but before this game started, Jordan Mason was the leading rusher in the NFL. Come on, man. This guy was an undrafted running back, 3 games of over 100 yards rushing in this season so far. Jordan Mason's a dog, man. Leads the league in rushing yards. Come on, man. And let's talk about Brock Purdy. This guy, the highest passer rating over the first 25 career starts since the merger. Brock Purdy, 112.6. That's better than Patrick Mahomes and Kurt Warner. This guy was putting team on his back. And I got another stat from 957 A Game. They said the quarterbacks' first 25 career starts in franchise history, 49ers quarterbacks. Number 1, Brock Purdy has 6,508 yards passing in his career. That's number 1 for a quarterback in 49ers franchise history. Most passing yards in a quarterback's first 25 career starts in franchise history. Number 2 is Jeff Garcia, 6,470. Brock Purdy passed them up today, 6,508. Fucking Brock Purdy, man. I can't wait to see all these pundits because they're gonna look stupid. He came out slicing and dicing and moving and grooving. He was out there looking like Lamar Jackson, man. It's crazy. He can run, he can gun, he can throw on the run. Gun run, man. This guy's so God, Brock Purdy. He's going to cost a lot of money. He's going to cost a lot of money, man. He really is. But I love it. I love Brock. And again, Jordan Mason. God, this team, man, when they're clicking, they're clicking. When they're not clicking, they're not clicking. When they're clicking, they're clacking. When they're clacking, they're clicking. You know what I mean? I'm just excited. It's good to get a win. It feels good. The vibes are incredible. You know, shout out to these defensive players, man. They really stepped up. You know, the secondary, they needed this because a lot of people were saying, you know, the 49ers, their defense is suspect and, you know, Nick Sorensen. And this was a game where Nick Sorensen really had to silence some critics. So good for them. They came out and they played their butts off today. So, you know, that's really the big takeaway. Shout out to the defense. You know, they stepped in. They played really good at the beginning because early on the 49ers weren't able to score. They just couldn't do it. And you know who I really, really like on the opposite side of Nick Bosa? This guy, Sam Okunonu, the number 91. He's the new 91 in town. Sam Okunonu. This guy was playing relentless football. He was playing really good today. He was coming off the corner. He was making big plays, getting pressures. He was all over Brissett today. He was in that backfield. I really was big fan of this guy today. Big time. Number 91, he took that number 91 for Armstead, and he's making a really good name for himself. So shout out to Big Sam. This guy has been great on that edge, man. I think he's playing better than Leonard Floyd. So call him Sam O. Yeah. Well, that's Sam O. That's it. We're going to call him Sam O because I can't pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. Breakdancing on Tuesday with Jake on Instagram, Uncovered NFL. So, yeah, Sam O cooking. It's just good, man. It's good. It's good to see this team winning because when they're winning, you see just like so many stars on this team. There's so many good players. You know, the bench players, the backups, the starters. You can just see how well-oiled machine this team is. You can see how much talent. It's amazing. So, yeah, Kittle, mossing through. That Kittle catch was insane, bro. That Kittle catch was insane. In the back of the end zone, 3 defenders. That was one of the best catches of the season, and it's going to be one of the best catches. That was a highlight of the year. That is going to be one of the top highlights of the year. That catch was crazy. And then Juwan Jennings goes and has an insane catch. Juwan Jennings always has incredible catches with Brock Purdy. Like, they have a knack for just making these insane highlight reel plays. Just like, whoa. Man. Val says, any news on Fred? Yeah, he says he's okay. Going to get an MRI tomorrow. We posted this. He says he probably could have came in the game if it was like, you know, a serious game, whatever. But he didn't want to risk it. He felt like he wanted to. The team held him back. But Fred's going to get an MRI. He says he feels good. But again, first day after a game, that Monday after a game, that's when you get all the real reports. So we'll see. It was a good game. Yo, shout out to Malik Mustafa. First career start. He didn't really make too many big errors. I think the secondary overall played good. But again, When you have pressure up front, you're going to help the secondary in a massive way. And that's what happened tonight. The secondary was benefiting from the pressure up front. Nick Bosa and them boys was balling out of control. So, yeah, Kittle. Stephanie says Kittle is just so fun. I love Kittle, man. He's so fun, man. You got to love him. And it's good to see him back and good to see him have that tutty. What do you think about BA today, says Key? I think he really stepped up today. I think he had a great performance. I want to say, shout out to big Brandon Ayuk today. He made some big catches, man. We can't sit there and say he did it. Shorts gate is over. He wore the right jersey, and he came out and he made some clutch catches. Whenever he had a catch thrown or a pass thrown his way, he was fighting for it, and he was trying his best. So, and he came down with some really big catches. So good for Brandon to kind of get off the funk, and I think this was a good game for his confidence. I really think this was a good confidence booster for BA. I mean, he didn't go out there and have like a massive stat breakdown, stat perform, but he had some good catches today. So Julia says, thoughts on the 3 TDs and 1 drive? The rest was hating, man. They didn't want us to see us shine. This guy, Brock Purdy, was coming out with some clutch passes. He was scrambling all over the field. He was running and gunning, and then he threw beautiful touchdowns. And they kept getting called back. Dude, the whole stadium was like, refs, you suck. Refs, you suck. They was sick. The fans were mad. Everybody was pissed. You could see it. It was like just ridiculous how these flags were being thrown. And Brock Purdy kept on throwing touchdowns. And then finally, he got a touchdown. It's crazy. He threw 3 touchdowns in 1 drive. I've never seen it before. That's why Brock Purdy is him. Renee says, thank goodness we didn't have to depend on Moody. I'm happy he made his field goal. I'm happy he made his field goal too. It was a little dicey. I'm glad he made that field goal. And it's good that we didn't have to rely on him. Early on, they weren't scoring. But after a while, the Niners started to kind of move that ball. That Fred Warner interception, though. I love Freddie. I can't wait to see the Baldy breakdown on Fred Warner tomorrow. Holy smoly. It's going to be incredible. That one catch that BA caught, that fingertip where he laid out, that catch, you're so right. Christine, the catch by BA late in the game, that was a money catch, man. I got again, Brandon Ayuk, man. He really went out there and he did the thing. He really did the thing today. And I got to give him his credit. All week we was ragging on him, but that's what you got to do. If you're going to get, that's the type of performance I wanted out of BA. I mean, it would have been nice if he would have went 100, tutty, whatever, put the glamorous stats out there, the big fantasy stats. People would have been saying his name more. But the fact that he went out and he made the plays he made, that was a big step in the right direction. I think this was a big confidence booster for BA. And we talked about it that, he's kind of like in preseason mode, And I think today was that finally he was like, this might have been week 1 for him. He might be in the regular season now. I think Brandon Ayuk's finally in the regular season. So. Refs were reffing today, says Stephanie. They were reffing like crazy. I was so pissed. Julia says, Fred Warner, Defensive Player of the Year. Just give it to him already. Absolutely. This guy is him. Him at the. He is him at the, man. That guy is a baller. Fred Warner, sheesh. At pick 6 was crazy. Like, when I saw him, because he snags it, and then he ran to the right, and I'm like, oh, he's going. He's got a convoy. He's going. Oh, touchdown, bro. The whole stadium was like, Fred Warner, oh, my God. Because he is that guy, and everybody loves Fred. We love him, man. And he needed that, man, to, like, solidify himself in this Defensive Player of the Year conversation, because teams are not always going to, he's a linebacker. I don't give a shit if he's a linebacker. He's the best linebacker in the league, and he's one of the best. He's the best defender in the league. You see it. He's the heart and soul of this defense, and I'm glad he got that pick 6. He's going to get this week, 100%. He's going to get Defensive Player of the week. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Week. It's bottom line. There's no way he doesn't get it. If he doesn't win it this week, I'm going to be pissed. He's going to be Defensive Player of the Month. Actually, I think that's this month. It's going to be on Wednesday. They'll announce the Defensive Player of the Month in September. Fred Warner better be Defensive Player of the Month for September. That's all I got to say about that one. And I think he is going to be that guy. But, yeah, Fred, man, you can't say enough about this guy. He's just so amazing. The San Francisco Freddie Warners. I like that, Rob. I'm keeping hope alive, says Renee. You know what? It's 2-2. This is a long season. This was a great win. Build off of this. Stack that dub. Next week, Arizona, stack that dub. 2 wins in a row. Get a win streak. He came up off the ground. Yeah, he came up. He popped up. Nobody touched him, and he knew. That's field awareness. That's IQ. This is why he's the QB of the defense. He knew. He was like, oh, shit, pick it up. Let me run it up. That's why Fred is the guy. That's why he's him. Him a thief. He's definitely the best linebacker in the league, says Val. He really is. He's just so good, man. Like, he plays at such a high intensity. And you know what's crazy? Fred is doing this without Dre Greenlaw. He's doing this without Dre Greenlaw, man. Can you imagine when Dre's back? Fred's having to do this with Devondre Campbell and all these other linebackers that are just, they're okay. They probably could start on another team on the elite because the linebackers and the Niners are top tier. But he's doing this without his guy, Dre Greenlaw. He's going out there pretty much solo dolo because Devondre Campbell ain't helping him much. Okay, he had a little better game today, but Fred Warner is out there playing linebacker 1, linebacker 2, linebacker 3. Let's put it on. Let's be honest. Throwback says, do I see some Steve Young and Brock Purdy? Every week I see it. He scrambles. He runs. He throws on the run. He can run and improvise. Bro, it's crazy. He's using his legs. I never realized how athletic Brock Purdy is, but he is so athletic. The way he stretches out plays. Jesus. That defense is going to be crazy. Christine. 49ers throwback says, Roquan Smith better? No way. Come on, man. Fred Warner's the best in the league, my guy. Julius says Fred Warner's a literal cheat code. He's a literal cheat code, man. He really is. Oh, man. I'm excited that we got this win because guess what? Tomorrow is the first official Victory Monday of the season. Tomorrow, Victory Monday, number 1 of the season. We have not had a Victory Monday, and tomorrow will be the first Victory Monday. Yo, shout out to this team, man. They balled out. They played like a team. They played like a Super Bowl contender today. They did that thing. I love it, man. And shout out to Mooney Ward after the game. He said we was playing like ass these last couple weeks. He kept it 100%. Like, this team knows that they were not playing good, and they had to step up. And that's why I like this win, because this team knew they had to step up. This team kind of like took the onus. They knew it. They knew they weren't playing good. So they kept it 100%, and they went out there and they executed. So, yeah. Brock Purdy is an Avenger. He really is. He's Captain America, says Julius. Val says Purdy better get his flowers soon. He better. I can't wait for next week now already. You know, it's always good after a dub. The vibes are up. Everybody's happy. And, you know, the Niners are cooking. So, good stuff. Good win. 49ers really played strong. They played, it wasn't a perfect game, but they played they played with a hunger today that I haven't seen them play in all season. So, I gotta post this. Right? I gotta talk about this because Nick Bosa, after the game, he said, this was Nick Bosa on the importance of getting a win today. He says, it feels good to get a win. It's such a long year. If you looked from an outsider's perspective or looked online, you think the building's burning down. Everybody thinks the building's burning down. The people outside of, you know, people looking in, you know, the fans, the media, building's on fire. Everything's bad in the Bay. When I was at the game, I have fans out there, people out there like, oh, this team's terrible. Oh, my God. Oh, you make a mistake. Like, early in the game, they was criticizing the team. Like, people outside looking in, even their own fans are saying the building's burning. So Nick Bosa says, I told the D-line guys in our meeting last night, they have a team meeting. He says, I told the D-line guys in our meeting last night that we've lost some guys. You know, they lost some guys. They lost some players on that D-line, man. Hargrave, etc. He says, but I haven't lost confidence in this group one bit. And that's the truth. God, Nick Bosa, that's captain talk for you. He says, I haven't lost confidence in this group one bit. And that's the truth. And he says, I think we're going to be just fine. That is fucking leadership to the fullest right there. If that's not leadership, I don't know what is. Like, Nick Bosa sitting there taking his boys in and say, look, man, we lost the dog. We lost Hargrave. You know, we lost Armstead this offseason. We lost some guys, man. Drake Jackson, he's on the DL. You know, we've lost a lot of people, you know. Curtis Robinson from the linebacker crew, he tore his ACL. Like, yeah, okay, we lost some dogs, but guess what? I still believe in you guys. That's sick, dude. For Nick Bosa to come out there and say, I believe in you guys, that's inspiring. And you know what they did today? It's 6 sacks as a unit. Nick Bosa deserves his flowers today. So anybody that's been hating on Bosa, I want you to read that again. Go to Nick Wagner. He tweeted that out. Or go to my post because I posted it. And put some respect on Nick Bosa, because I keep telling you guys, because everybody's like, oh, what's wrong with Nick Bosa? He's not playing. He's not playing good. He's not playing like a defensive player of the year. He's out there playing, man. If you aren't watching the film, you're not seeing what Nick Bosa's doing, man. He finally got those guys inspired, and they helped him out today. That's what he's been needing. Sam O, we talked about it. This guy was flying off the edge today. That's what he needed. He needs some dogs out there to help him go to war, you know. He can't do the battle himself. And today, Nick Bosa, team captain, MVP, man. We all talk about Fred Warner, but nobody gives Nick Bosa his credit enough. You know, when he does great, he does great. But when he doesn't put the stats on the board, everybody criticizes him. But he still plays his ass off. I got nothing but love for Nick Bosa. That's why we wore the shirt today. Great win. Great dub. What a feeling. It's always good when we win, man. Love it, man. Rob says, Bosa came so close to sacks. He couldn't believe he kept getting. He was close, but that's it. 9 pressures. He had 9 pressures today. That's what happens when you get the pressures. Even if he's not getting sacked, everybody else will come and eat, right? Collins got a sack and a half. Sam O got the sack. I think Kevin Givens got 2 sacks. Like, that's what was going on. This team was getting to the quarterback. Even though Bosa wasn't getting the sacks, he was getting the pressure. 9 pressure today. You know how much pressures Nick Bosa had from week 1 to 3? He had 10. 10 pressures in 3 weeks. Today, he had 9. Almost had as much pressures in 1 game that he did in 3 games. He was cooking today. So shout out to Dickie B. Shout out to this team. Juwan Jennings, he's that guy. George Kittle, great to have him back. He opens things up. Debo opened things up. Didn't have to have a big game. Brock Purdy is him. We said Jordan Mason. And O-line, they weren't horrible. That's my last take. They were okay. You know, they were parting they were parting the holes. They were keeping Brock upright for the most part. There's a few bad plays here and there, but I think the O-line was much improved from the last 2 weeks. So overall, a good performance. Special teams probably was the worst area tonight. They need to continue to improve special teams. But hey, a win is a dub, and a dub is a win. We got a win 30-13, 17-point win in the Bay. The vibes are up. You guys have a beautiful night. Respect to y'all. Victory Monday tomorrow. Let's go Niners.